Peace, y'all. Let's dive into this, right? Today, I want to talk about how much money can you make doing tax deed investing. First, I want to say my name is Ray, one half of the Acre Boys, for those that might not know. The Acre Boys are active land investors. We've been actively investing in land for the past 8 years, and it's been a whirlwind for us. Over the course of time, we've done really well. We have completed over, I'll lose count some days now. I don't know. I think we're well over 500 deals. More importantly, we've been able to show some of these same strategies and some of these same practices to other people that look just like us, right? We opened up a program called Land and Legacy, which shows others how to do the same thing that we do, and that's buy land at discounted prices. Many people come to us and they ask questions like, well, I don't want to flip land, because we're known as land flippers, right? Through these same strategies and through these same practices, I've been able to walk away from my 9-to-5 job and sustain a nice living by doing what we do. So some people may not want to be a land flipper. Some people may just want to buy land for whatever their needs are. This program, our program, definitely shows you all of that. We overall show you how to buy land at deep discounted prices. But let's get to the money, right? For those that want to get to the money, let's get to the money. How do we make money flipping land? Well, when the Acre Boys came into this industry, we were like many other people, just looking for something to do, working on 9-to-5 jobs. My partner was doing, he was a sanitation truck driver. I was a union stagehand worker. And we were doing, well, we thought we were doing fairly well on our jobs. We both made over $100,000 on our jobs. But we live in the state of New York, and it was a continuous hard grind to continuously try to make this money year in, year out. Limited time, didn't get a lot of time to spend with my family. Couldn't even take vacations because my industry, we set up shows predominantly mostly in the summertime. Our schedule was really busy in the summertime. So pretty much fed up, looking for something to get into, looking for something to get me out of that job, to be totally honest with you. And I was looking to make more money. I didn't want to be capped at what I was making, right? I think I had reached my zenith for what that position I held had estimated that they could pay me. So I wanted more. I wanted more for myself. I wanted more for my family. I wanted more for my children. So we sought after mentorship. Like many people, when they're trying to change their circumstances, they don't know where they want to go next or what they want to do next. So you go and you start looking. Well, real estate was something that we was always into. We always had a passion for real estate, right? We had flipped a house or 3 in our time. So we had bought a house or 2 in our time. So we always wanted to get into real estate. But living in New York is very competitive, very competition. So it was hard to come across deals on a consistent basis. So that kind of kept us out of that industry on a full-time basis. So we ran into a gentleman who asked us, have you guys ever heard of tax deed investing? I had never heard of tax deed investing. I was unfamiliar with the lingo. I was unfamiliar to the industry. So we took this guy's mentorship, which broke down how we could take land, vacant land, buy it for pennies on the dollar, and turn around and make money off it. That's all I really heard. That was the spill that I really heard. I can make money off of what? Land? Okay, tell me more. So we took his mentorship, right? Went all the way through the program. And at the time, he said he gave us one-on-one. I think we had 3 calls with him, one-on-one calls. And he gave us a whole breakdown, how to start, where to get started at, and all of that. First place that we started was the state of Arkansas. That's why when I say when opportunity knocks, you have to be there to open the door, because what we was getting at Arkansas and what we saw from the state of Arkansas at the time that we saw it for was mind-blowing to me. And I've told a story a time or 10 before, right? We were buying properties in Arkansas when we came into the tax deed space. We were buying them from the auction for $50, 50 whole dollars. And I've been wondering, where have I been all this time? If I wish I had known this a lot earlier, because the mentors that trained us on this, they had been buying properties for $50 a lot longer than me, and they were selling them on average between $8,000 and $10,000. These same $50 properties. Now, when I say $50 properties, most of it was vacant land, undeveloped land. At times, you'll find a beat up house. Beat up houses were probably going for $200, $300, prices like that. And they were flipping these beat up houses without touching them, and flipping this land without ever going to see them. And they showed us how to view the land from a virtual standpoint, all the tools that we needed sitting right from the comfort of our own home. So I said, oh, this is mind blowing to me. So we sought after, took the steps that they told us to take. We sought after the information and we started applying it. And you move slow in the beginning because you don't have no proof of concept. And we didn't have any proof of concept. So we did one deal. I think our first deal, we paid $100 for our first deal, right? Little skeptical. I don't know if this works. I didn't want to lose any money. I didn't even want to lose $100. Good thing about me is I had a partner. So everything that we paid for, we were able to split it down the middle. So I had $50. He had $50. I can gamble on $50. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That was my mindset. We bought that property. It was a piece of land, small piece of land in Arkansas, in Little Rock, Arkansas. And we put it back on the market as they suggested that we do so. We put it back on the market and we put it on Facebook Marketplace. We put it on Craigslist. We put it on eBay, and it sold on eBay. Like, unbeknownst to me, I didn't even know that we can sell properties on eBay. So we put it as an auction on eBay. I don't know if y'all remember, eBay used to be a big site that a lot of auctions was going on. If you go to eBay right now, you can still buy land off of eBay. A lot of people still sell their land off of eBay. I don't do it these days because I'm not in this space anymore, the tax deed space. I coach a group and I show them how to do tax deed investing. So I don't do any tax deed investing and use eBay anymore. But we sold our first piece of property on eBay for $700. And that's when we got our first piece and proof of concept. And I said, oh, this is interesting. So what do you think I did next? I went right back in and I went to go look for more properties. Okay, let's get another piece of property and let's see if we can do this again and make some profit. So I made $600 off of my first deal, very first deal, $600, and I sold it in about 3 weeks. I can do this, an extra $600. In this case, extra $300 for me because I have a partner, so we have to split everything. So I paid $50 and I made $300. All right, and I didn't have to really do any work. I didn't have to physically go anywhere. Oh, this is interesting. So what if I buy and sell 2 of these at one time? So we bought 2 the next time at one time. This time we caught it, I think these were the $50 buys started to come in, and we sold it for like $18.50. $50, $18.50. That's an $1,800 profit. Money's starting to add up, and I'm saying, is this like this all the time? So we started to buy more, and we started to buy more, right? $50. I said to my partner, let's take the reins off and let's buy as many as we can. I remember him saying, hey, you sure you want to buy that many? Let's just buy 10. Now at this time, we're up to buying 10. And we were selling these things like hotcakes. See, I had the Frank Lucas approach. And what I mean by that is I was only paying $50. So when I put these properties on the market and I seen that there was some interest in them, you couldn't offend me with an offer price. I only was into it for $50. So if I listed it for $2,000, and if you offered me $1,400, take it, it's yours. If you offered me $1,000, take it, it's yours. And what you're seeing right here, I'm going to show you some things. See this envelope? It says what? This is just one envelope. It says deeds on it. And then you see a whole bunch of deeds. These are a bunch of deeds in different envelopes. I'll just pull out one randomly. I don't know. I haven't been in here. And these are some of the deeds that came from the auction. And we bought from a lot of different counties. In every property that we bought, I'm randomly pulling these out, so I don't want you to think that I had this planned. But every property that we bought, we would buy them, and you'll see here, 50. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? $50 is what we were buying these properties for. And it'll say sold on the bottom once we sold them. I don't know why there's no price on that one. So let's grab another one, because typically we will put the price on these things once we sold them. So let's grab another envelope. Here's another envelope with deeds in them. This one has quite a few deeds in them. Let's take a look at some of these deeds. Let's see if you guys can see that one. $50. $50. How much did we sell it for? We put it on the bottom. Every property that we sold this one for $1,200. Anybody got a problem with spending $50 and making $1,200? We bought for $50, sold for $1,200. I don't know what the ROI on that, but that's pretty high. I'm in at these denominations all day long. Let's explain what tax deed investing is. And somebody's probably thinking, well, why are they selling properties for so cheap? So at the time, what tax deed investing is when someone, a homeowner, doesn't pay their taxes on the property, the county or the state, they'll come in, they'll put a lien on the property, they'll send out notices for that homeowner to pay their taxes, right? Once they don't adhere to those notices, eventually they'll foreclose on the property, then they'll become the holder of the property. The state or the county, they're not in the real estate business. They don't want to be in the real estate business. They want a citizen to be paying taxes on it, so that helps the county function. So what do? Once people foreclose on once they foreclose on other properties, they auction it back off. This is what Arkansas done. Now, the thing about Arkansas, when I came in the game, once again, you have to be in position to strike when the iron is hot. When opportunity knocks, you must answer the door, because this is not like this anymore. But the reason why we were able to do $50 buys, as I showed you, is because Arkansas had a different system 8 years ago when we came in the game. And the system was they put properties up for auction. Whatever didn't sell within a year's time, they would put it on like a repository list where they discounted it all the way to the opening offer, minimum offer of $50. So we waited for things to just go down to the minimum bid price of $50, and we would buy them. We would snatch up a bunch of them. It's not like that anymore. You can still get great deals at Arkansas. You may even find a $50 buy here and there, but it's not like that anymore. You can't just go through a plethora of. It was so many on them that we had a chance to pick and choose which ones we wanted, which ones we didn't want to take, because there was this lists and lists of properties for $50. And this goes on. This was going on. I think for like 2 years straight, this is all that we did. We would come home, study a list. We knew every property that was on that list. That's why I encourage when we teach this to others, I encourage you, know your list, know your area, know the auction that you're playing in. You should know it like the back of your hand if you're investing in these areas. We would take I would say a spreadsheet, but I'll be lying because we didn't use spreadsheets. We just did it on a notebook. And that's not the way to do it. I suggest that you use a spreadsheet to stay organized, because when you use a notebook, when you go look for what you're looking for, it's not there. You can't find it. You're wasting time. All right. But we did it on a notebook. I'm telling you our story, our journey. We wrote it in notebooks, and we would write down the properties. I would tell Jay, you take the top, I'll take the bottom. And we would just comb through those lists and pick the best properties. And we can look at a few more of these. I don't know what it's going to come up. Let's see. All right, here's one, not a $50 property. All right, we paid $500 for this property. $500 for that property. I'm not mad. I think we sold that one for $3,000. Another $500 property. What else we got? Let's see. $500 land. $500 land. Anybody mad at that? $500 land. Let's take a look at this one. What's this? Oh, here's one that was bought. $50. How much did we sell this one for? This is a cheap one. We only sold this one for $500. That's what I said. I had the Frank Lucas approach. You could not offend me with a price. I paid $50. You want it for $500? Sure, you can have it. Sometimes I didn't say that. Sometimes I held tight to my price. But clearly on that one, I said, take it for $500. And it goes on and on and on. $50. And it'll go on and on. You'll see we bought hundreds of these properties. $55. How much did I sell this one for? 925. What's the date on it? 9/18, 19. So when I tell people to get involved, it's like, what are we waiting for? That's why I named this, how much money can you make in tax deed investing? And I'm not going to comb through everything that's all of these D's that's in here, but these are envelopes of just nothing but D's on top of D's on top of D's. You can make so much money just tax deed investing for an entry-level investor. This is great money to have as an addition to the income that you're bringing home from your 9-to-5 jobs. We didn't just walk away from our jobs by doing this. No, we did this while we were working our 9-to-5 jobs, and we were very smart with the money. That's why I'm telling you, be smart. I'm telling you, if I haven't said it, be smart with the money that you make. That's the Acre Boys story. We didn't spend a dime of the profits. We put everything to the side, everything in the pot, because we knew at some point we was going to let it accumulate and we was going to look to move and do bigger deals. Right? At that time, we didn't know how to do bigger deals. We didn't have the name Acre Boys. We got the name Acre Boys when we started buying acres. Right now, we were like, I guess, Little Land Boys or something like that, whatever you want to call, but we were making money. So I was just excited to be making these amounts of profits. And I knew that the list was ongoing and I can always go there. So for 2 years straight, this area, we killed them. So when people talk to me about Arkansas, I feel like I know it like the back of my hand, because as you can see, I spent a lot of time there buying deals there. And I've never been there. I just watched it. We just do this from a virtual standpoint. We give you all the tools that you need from a virtual standpoint. Let's look at this one. What's this? I even did seller finance, as you see it here. What does it say? Seller finance. How do you seller finance land? How much did I pay for it? I'm going to tell you the whole seller finance play. It says I paid $100 for it. And I did what? I seller financed it. It says paid in full. How much did I seller finance it for? I'm not sure. I think we did this one for $2,500 or $3,000. I think we did it for $3,000. Now, how do we seller finance land? You take the property, as you saw, we paid $100 for it. You put it on the market and you simply put in the headline whatever the address is or the APN number or what kind of land it is. You put that in the headline and you put seller finance in parentheses, right? To let people know that the land is up for seller finance. People love the seller finance land. Then you ask them for a down payment on the property. How much is the down payment on the property? How much could you expect? Or would you ask for as a down payment, right? How much would you ask? If you paid $100 for it, what's your down payment? How much would you accept? I would say accept what you put that you paid for it for. Get back what you put out of your pocket. So now you're in the green. So now this is all free profit at this point. But we accepted $300 as the down payment. So we were already winning because we paid $100. Somebody said at least $100. That is the name of the game when you sell a financing inexpensive land. This works well with inexpensive land in bad areas. So I always say, don't let people tell you that there's no money in bad areas. That's a bold-faced lie. It may not be the big bucks or what the big boys are doing, but for entry-level investors who don't have a big bank account, you must target lower properties as a tax deed investing. Don't worry about it. That's why I say this fits everybody's budget. Everybody should have $100, $50 to play this game, $500 to play this game, $1,000 to play this game. And if you wanted to get residual income on a monthly basis, like that seller finance property, I charged a young lady $150 a month. And she paid me every month. I received $150 for the property that I paid $100 for. I was already in the green because the down payment was $300. So if you want to make an additional $1,000 a month for the next 4 or 5 months, all you need is to get 8 properties that you can seller finance. If you were getting them at the same numbers that I were getting them for, how much is 8 properties going to cost me if you're getting them for $50? $400. The down payment on one of those will cover the whole cost. And you keep it low for the profit, right? For what they pay you on a monthly basis. Keep it low, something that everybody could afford. $150, $200, $250 max. And that's negotiable. And that's what I love about it, because you get a chance to play the bank. You get a chance to say how much you want for the property and how much you're willing to accept. All right? So that's the seller finance play. If you ever run across inexpensive land, if you want to seller finance it and receive a residual income every 30 days on it, that's how you do it. You'll have to write a contract with you and the person that you're going into seller finance with. You write a contract, a seller finance contract, you have them sign it, have them send it back to you, and they're locked in. Then you give them instructions on where to send their monthly payments. And you can use any of these services that just comes up with invoices. You invoice them, you put it on automatic, and it'll invoice them every 28 days, and you wait for them to pay. What happens if they don't pay or if they stop paying? It's in your contract that you have 30 days to pay. If they don't pay in 30 days, the property comes back to you. Then you put it right back on the market for another down payment. That's how this works. So you don't lose in this. Let's take a look at a few more of these, and I'll put this envelope up. Let's see what this one is. Oh, here's one that I really sold for dirt cheap. We paid $75 for that one, and I sold this one for dirt cheap. $450. We sold it for $450. When I tell you, we were moving these things like hotcakes. See what else we have over here. Sold. How much is this one? Doesn't have a price what I sold, but I bought it for $50. How much is this one? $55. Sold it for $9.25. I think we looked at that one already, but $55 we paid for it, sold it for $9.25. And this goes on and on. I think you get the example that there's some money to be made with really inexpensive properties. I hope that is an example for you. I hope that you can find an area. I can show you areas that you can still get properties. In fact, let's talk about an area that's from a tax deed perspective. This is from our community. We've studied this area. We did a whole training, a whole breakdown on this area. Somebody in the comments said, what about surveys? What about surveys? We don't survey anything. We buy it as is and we sell it as is. Anybody that we sell it to, if they want to go get a survey, feel free. I'm not doing a survey on anything. I'm buying it as is. Only time we do surveys is if I'm dealing with like a property and it's up in the thousands and we're making a big profit and we can't sell it because there's a question about the survey, or there's a question about encroachment, or there's a question about the boundary lines. That's the only time that we'll do a survey. And still, many times I'm looking to push that cost on the person that I'm selling it to. All right. Sometimes we'll split the cost. Sometimes I have to eat the cost. Just depends on the deal and just depends on the buyer. But there's an auction coming up the 15th of this month. I strongly encourage you to get involved, whether that's through my community or on your own, whatever you decide to do. We also have a free community, right? That link is in my bio in the link tree. We have a free community. Join the free community. We post things in there, all updates about what we have going on. It's a great room. Come in. If you have properties for sale, you can talk about your properties or put the listing up in there. Anything that you want to share. Just don't spam the room if you have a program, because you'll be booted out. But it's a great program, great room, free room, should I say. We talk about nothing but land inside of the room. But anyway, the 15th, there's an auction coming up where you can buy property. They're asking for $1,250. I know for a fact that the properties, I've just studied one. If I had the video, I would show you. I did it with my group, investor in my group. He bought one for $1,250. We just on our training call, we have weekly training calls every Wednesday. We reviewed the property. The list price coming out the door on that property that he paid $1,250 for is $12,000, $12,500. So he bought it for $1,250, and he's going to put it on the market for $12,000. It's one of these rare places. I won't even say rare. It is one of these places that still make me smile. And it still makes me say, wow, because you could buy properties. He bought an acre of land at that, not a small property. He bought an acre of land. for $1,250, and it sits in a neighborhood where homes are going for $350, $350,000, $325,000, $425,000. And I'm like, it's like mind blowing. He said up north. I can see the comments here. He said up north. It is up north, but I never really worry about where it's at. I'll buy it up north. I'll buy it south. I'll buy it east. I'll buy it west. We've bought them everywhere. We don't go and visit them, so it really doesn't make a difference where the properties are when it comes to flipping the land. Now, if you were buying to whole, then you may be concerned about the location of the land. But for me, I look at it from a number standpoint. It's just another deal for me. So I don't really care where I bought in Arizona, I bought in California, I bought up north, I bought in New York, I bought in Tennessee, I bought in Arkansas. This is just a numbers game. Once you know how to evaluate land, is know if it's a good piece of property. Only thing that matters at that point is the price. What am I getting it for? How much can I sell it for? That's it. We do our homework on these properties. Once the due diligence is done and we pull the plug, meaning that we pay for them, that's all we care about. Let's put it on the market. How much can we make? So get involved. That auction is going on the 15th of this month. I promise you that it is great deals there. And when I tell you it's a lengthy list, it's more than enough to go around. I know because I've viewed the list. I've taught it to my community to how to go about it. And my community landed a lot of those deals, and they closed their list down, right? And now they're reopening it again on the 15th of this month. I promise you, if you ever, this is one of the places that I still say, I don't know why everybody that knows about this, somebody said to me, you're giving too much game away, because he was this one person, he didn't want people investing in the same area that he was investing in. But stop. It's more than enough to go around. And what happens after year 2024 is over? This happens all over again in 2025, people. This doesn't stop. How long has this been going on? That's why we call it recession proof. How long has auctions been going on where they've been auctioning off land? It's been a long time. And it'll be going on whether I'm here, whether you here. This will not stop. All right? So I encourage everybody to at least lay eyes on it to see what it's all about. You just saw some of the deeds that I showed you. Nothing special about me. I don't have a college degree. I don't have anybody on the inside that's giving me deals or giving me the heads up. I don't have any of those things. I just took somebody's program. I paid a mentor. I done what he told me to do. And that was the outcome. And that's the name of the game. Pay a person to do the thing that you want to do so you don't have to fumble all over yourself trying to figure things out if you're looking to skip the line. Or you can surf the net till you're blue in the face and still don't have it figured out. The way to do it is just to skip the line and pay someone. Do your homework on who you're paying. Make sure that they're credible, right? And then get involved. We tell people all day, make a decision. Anybody that has been following us for a substantial time, make a decision. What are you waiting for? These are real testimonials that we put out. These are real deals. It don't get any realer than what I showed you. And I know you don't think that I went and docked up a bunch of papers, and you can see they're outdated. They've been sitting in a folder. SG said, do you have a number to reach out to you? Email acreboys@gmail.com. Yeah, email acreboys@gmail.com. But yeah, you can make a lot of money in this, all right? In your first year, if you're doing this right, how about somebody drop in the comments, what will be something that would help you? An additional amount. Would an additional $2,000 a month help? An additional $4,000 a month help? An additional $5,000, an additional $800. Would that help? What is it? This fits all budgets, and whatever you're trying to do, it can be accomplished through this. I'm not going to even talk about the bigger deals that we do, because I just want to focus on tax deed investing for entry-level investors. And I don't want you to think that this tax deed space, this is for cheap people, or it's not abundant, because this can range and go all the way up to properties in the hundreds of thousands. We just been really good at finding the most inexpensive places and finding these deals for new investors, new people to the space. Because I think everybody should have a couple of $100 to invest in a piece of real estate. That's why we're only dealing with these denominations. If you know about this space, then I don't need to address you, because you know that this is an abundant space, and you know that properties can run all the way up into the 100,000s. So I don't have to speak about those to anybody that knows about this space already. All right. This is for people that may not be aware of this industry. That's why we're having that conversation for them. Entry level investors, you can get involved in the tax deed space, buying properties for as little as $500, $1,000, $1,500. If you don't have that kind of money at your disposal, I can't help, because I don't know where to get it from any cheaper these days. All right. I suggest you save up and you come up with those prices. And it's 2024. If you can't afford those kind of deals, then you may be in trouble. You may to really take a look in the mirror and ask, what's going on with my life? If you can't come up with $500, $1,000 to make more money. All right. Cam said, how does the tax part work if you're just an individual? You may be referring to capital gains. If you make money, then you have to report it at the end of the year. If you're asking, do we pay taxes on the properties? I don't pay taxes on properties because I don't intend to hold on to them that long. The name of the game for me as a land flipper is to get in and get out as fast as possible. How often do people pay property tax? Once a year. I don't hold properties for a year. So I don't pay taxes on the properties that we buy because they're gone. I'm looking to sell them. Now, if I were doing a bigger deal, right, and this is outside of tax deed investing, and I had to go run the deal through title, I will be responsible for the taxes the time that I held the property. It would be a prorated tax portion that I would have to pay. But that's a whole nother subject. As it pertains to tax deed investing, yeah, we want to get these things out the door as fast as possible, and we're not going to pay any taxes on them. That's why I always say there's two reasons that land doesn't sell. Either you bought a bad piece or you got it priced too high. So getting in front of this, buying a good piece is vital. Once you buy a good piece, it always sells unless you have it priced too high. So you have to find a sweet spot for the price, and we show you how to locate and do the homework of that area that it should be priced at. So everything. You should know how to do everything as a tax deed investor. As a land investor, you should know your area. What is the market doing? What is the prices currently of the market doing? Are properties sitting on the market? Are properties going off the market? How fast are they moving? What areas are hot? This side of the town, is this hotter? You have to study these areas. This is a data-driven business. We study areas to know what to do. All right? So tax deed investing, consider it. The 15th of this month, that auction will be going on. Join our free community. The link is in our bio. Join our free Discord room. We talk about nothing but land inside of that community. I hope you guys were able to see or take something away from this live. I showed you. We talked about some of our start. And right here, what is these? These are current deeds that I'm shipping now. See this? These are current deeds that we bought and sold. That's what the envelopes is not closed because I have to put them in the mail, and I have to get one of them notarized, and I have to get another one. I have to get a bank check to record the deed. That's another thing. We show you how to record your own deed. All right. This is us recording our own deed, preparing our own deed, and sending it off to be recorded. So in a nutshell, we will show you how to buy it. We will show you how to sell it. Then we will show you how to prepare your very own deed in-house. You don't have to go through a title company when we do this as a tax deed investing. We got you covered from start, all the way from the start to the finish. We show you everything, the whole complete process. All right. So I hope y'all enjoyed this live. If you're not following this page, because we're streaming on all platforms right now, if you're on YouTube, hit the like button and subscribe. we're looking to grow this channel. If you're on Facebook, share this with a friend. Anybody that is looking to make some extra money and become a land investor, recommend them to the Acre Boys if you feel that we're worthy of that. And I'll say we do a hell of a job based upon the people that we have helped so far. If you're on Instagram, you know what to do. Join the free community. All right. Y'all be good. It's a Friday evening. Whatever you're doing tonight, be safe, be blessed. Good night, people.